Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Eco Innovation School webinar for the month of September. And this month we are bringing something very much exciting and even more enlightening compared to other months, as we'll be talking around the future of work as it's cut across talent, technology, and business transformation. And believe me, we've bring in experts, we bring in expertise professionals around technology and business to talk about how the future of work looks like and how this is going to affect how this is going to affect talent, how technology is going to change the way we kind of work. I went through some research and some insights that were drawn out by Deloitte, and I was able to come out with some facts as it relates to the future of work on how the percentage is a bit low. People will need to upskill to be able to adapt to the future of work because technology disruption and technology work is on the rise. So here with me is Ipukun Lawa. She's an IT business professional, and she will be the first speaker talking around the future of work, talent, technology, and business transformation. So Ibukun Lawa, you're welcome. Welcome on stage. I would like you to switch on your video as you commence the section. Over to you, Ibukun. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ibukun, as he has already introduced me. I'm an IT business relationship manager with Sterling Bank, and I'm basically speaking on the topic future of work, talent, technology, and business transformation. So I'll just go right to the chase. According to Forbes, it's been predicted that 85% of the jobs that will be available in 2030 don't even exist yet. I mean, hearing that will make you like kind of confused and some people worried because that 85% of the job be available in about 10 years from now or 8 years from now does not even exist yet. Today, individuals are finding themselves increasingly confused about what is expected them in their own search. In addition, and all of we do work today has changed significantly and is still changing by the day. It doesn't stop. So what do? We either adapt or be left behind because the future of work has come to stay and there's really nothing you nor I can do about it. This brings us to the topic of today, the future of work. Talent, technology, and business transformation. What does this really mean? Let's even start by describing what future of work really means. Then we will be able to see how talent, technology, and business transformation relates to it, plus how we can be adequately prepared for the times we are in and the times we're going into. Now, let's start by describing future of work. What does it mean? Is the result or the outcome of many forces of change affecting three deeply connected dimensions that is, work, the workforce, and the workplace. So for me, I do not like to see the future of work as the way work has evolved in the nearest future or the way work is going to evolve in the next few decades. You know why? Because the future of work is now. We're already living the future of work. So if you're thinking that the future of work is still coming, I'm sorry to bust your bubble because we're already living the future of work. Now, when I defined the future of work, I said forces of change affecting three dimensions: work, workforce, and workplace. Now, what are these forces of change in our world of today? We have the likes of the pandemic, COVID 19, that we're just coming out of, technological, generational changes, social shifts, societal, and market trend. These are the forces of change that could affect the way work is done. Why did I use the term the world of today? This is because this is not the first time the way we do work or no work to be done has changed. I mean, from the time of the pre-industrial economy, when all tasks involved in production was done end to end by one person, to the time of the Industrial Revolution, when work was broken down into routine tasks and then workers could specialize. I mean, the whole term division of labor was at that time, the time of the Industrial Revolution, and now our present age, where we are yet again redefining work. But this time, with the use of robots, automations, and all of that, we are shifting again our understanding of the way work is done from task completion, that is division of labor in the industrial in the past era, to actually solving problem and managing human relationships. So I'm going to go back to what I explained when I said, when I defined the future of work, I said it has to do with forces of change affecting the work, the workforce, and the workplace. By work, I mean the work we are actually doing, the job, your function, your role. The way work is done today, technology has transformed it. I mean, with the increasing advent of robotics, cognitive, and artificial intelligence technologies, the way we do work has actually changed and is still going to change more than it is today. Business processes are now automated, they are more efficient, work is done faster, smarter, and more efficiently across all sectors. It doesn't matter what the sector is, be it manufacturing, finance, health, whatever the sector is. I am in the banking sector and I can cite examples for you which you can relate to. The way the way banking was done before and the way it is done now, there's a completely huge difference. I mean, before now, you have to queue in the banking hall for a simple activity like checking your account balance. But today, there's even almost nothing you can do by yourself on your phone. You really don't have to be in the banking hall. That is how technology has changed the way businesses are being done. Now, looking at the workforce, that is the who. I've explained the work itself. Now I'm explaining the who. Who are those doing the work? Talent, skills, and all of that has also evolved. I mean, before now, companies only hire full time employees and maybe some contract staff. But right now, we have the likes of managed services, freelancers, gig workers. We have platforms like Tuteria, Fiverr, and Co, where you can just go and source for the skill set that you're looking for, pay, and then move on. Everybody is happy. Like it's a win-win for both parties. Organizations now have broad continuum of options for finding workers, from hiring traditional full-time employees to availing themselves of managed services and outsourcing. The focus is now on who can do the work, as these newer workforce types, I mean the types I just explained, freelancers, gig workers, managed services, are now available to solve the problem and move on. Statistics have also shown that alternative workers, like I've explained, are growing in number. For instance, in the US, currently 35% of the US workforce are supplemental, temporary, project, and contract based. So they're doing the work and they're moving on. Nobody is waiting to say, oh, okay, I want to be a full time, I want to stay back, I want to do all of that. Why? Because the percentage is growing well and you're earning your money as you go. And then the freelance workers right now, as at today, is growing faster than the total workforce. I mean, the full time, up to 8.1% compared to 2% of the total um, employee that you have in the company. What does this mean for you and I? It means that organizations now have broader scope of getting talents and skill sets. And for you and I, the onus is now on us to reskill, upskill, and acquire all necessary skills to be attractive and employable to these guys. Acquiring knowledge for us to be employable and attractive to these people, and for us to reskill and upskill, has gone beyond sitting within the four walls of a classroom. I mean, we have the likes of Coursera, Udemy, and the likes, where you can actually acquire necessary skills effortlessly without having to sit within the four walls of a classroom. Now, I just spoke about the workforce. I mean, you and I, talent, the skill set, right? So right now we're talking about the workplace. Where is work actually done now? You will agree with me that before the pandemic, work was done within the four walls of a building. I mean, you have to be within um, close proximity, physical proximity with yourselves for you to get the work done. But right now, with new combination of collaborative team technologies, work is now done differently. We now have terms like remote work, hybrid, which was not so common before the pandemic. So right now, before now, workplace was about physical proximity. I have to sit next to somebody for me to know that the work will get done. But right now, I can be distributed across the globe and still get the work done and get it done well. Now, I'm going to give you an example of some of these technologies. We all know them. We know the likes of Zoom, Google Meet, and the rest of them to for us to collaborate. Looking at statistics for even Zoom itself, before the pandemic, Zoom was doing, I think, for profit, about $7 million in profit, 21 million dollars in profit. But at the time of the pandemic, at the height of pandemic, they went from $21 million to $671 million. That is like a whooping rise. That's how many percent higher than what it was. Now, how does all of this information apply to you and I? Remember earlier on, I explained how technological advancement, robots, automations, and all of that have automated business processes, thereby enabling a more efficient and smarter way of getting things done. Well, the snag here about technological advancement, I mean, I'm not trying to scare you, but the truth is that a lot of jobs will be lost because robots have taken over what human beings are supposed to be doing. They actually have the capacity to disrupt over 32% of our jobs. Now, I don't believe that robots are going to make humans redundant. Machines will continue to displace humans, certainly, in repetitive and mundane roles, routine tasks, and all of that. This isn't anything new. It's been going on since, at least since the first industrial revolution. But at the same time, many new roles will be open to us. Some will go and new ones will be opened up. This will mainly be in fields that involve uniquely human skills that machines cannot do. The truth is that it's not everything that a machine can do. Skills like creativity, human to human communication, emotional intelligence, complex decision makings, these are things that um, machines cannot achieve for you and I. You have to do it as human beings. This means that some of the most in demand skills of the workplace in the near future will revolve around tackling high level challenges. Leadership, human judgment, complex decision making, collaboration, teamwork, and the likes will definitely be still be done by human beings. Understanding how to harness these human centric skills will put us in a position to be able to work effectively, regardless of whatever technology comes along to disrupt your industry. So you really don't have to be scared. You don't have to be worried about whatever it is that is going to happen or is happening today, as long as we are able to keep up with the trend and go along with whatever disruption can actually come along our way. Now, whatever technology comes along to disrupt, we don't have to be worried because we have actually kept up with the trend. This whole thing about technology coming to disrupt the way work is being done is called human machine collaboration, ways of marrying technology with human skills and all of that. Now, how do we remain relevant? How do we ensure that we don't get kicked out by the forces of change, by the pandemic, by technology, and all of that? How do we stay relevant? By upskilling, reskilling ourselves, unlearning, learning, and relearning. Be open minded because we live in a very uncertain and dynamic world. Luckily for you and I, just as quickly as technology is providing machine based solution for many problems that human beings could previously solve, is also providing solutions in the field of training and upskilling. I mentioned Coursera, I mentioned Udemy, Google, even Harvard. They have online learning platforms which were not in existence before now. Access to online technology, online education and training means that it's possible to develop valuable new skills across many disciplines and fields of expertise. I believe that in our evolving society, our attitude to education actually needs to evolve. I mean, before now, you have to go to school, primary school, secondary school, then go to university, and maybe get to do your master's. But now the norm has moved, has evolved from spending the first 20 to 30 years of your life in education before moving into employment. Now, what we need to do is simply update our skill set with the on job training or what is relevant at the time, keeping up with the trend, keeping up with your skill set, and making yourself relevant. Apart from continuous learning, which I have described already, there are also other ways for us to keep up with the uncertainties which lies with us and ahead of us. Digital communities are available on social media platforms. You could find yourself mentors who are people that are proactive and forward thinking. You could acquire certain skill set that will help you succeed and remain relevant in the future of work. I'll give you about five skill set that one has to build or reflect on that would help us to stand regardless of whatever technological disruption, pandemic, or whatever it is that may happen in the nearest future, or even right now as we speak. One of them is creativity. Robots cannot compete with humans when it comes to creativity. The future workplace is going to demand new ways of thinking, design thinking. Human creativity is the key to it. Robots cannot do this. We are the ones that will tell robots what to do, right? So once we are creative, we know what to think, we can think well, we can think innovatively, we will be able to the technology can definitely not replace you at that point. Now, critical thinking. A person with critical thinking can suggest innovative ways of doing things, because innovative thinking, critical thinking leads to creativity. So, for that, once you can think critically, you can think logically without applying emotions or sentiments to these things, to getting complex problems solved. It makes you relevant. It makes you employable. It makes you someone that a force to reckon with when it comes to the future of work. Now, active learning with a growth mindset. Anyone in the future of work needs to actively learn and grow. A person with a growth mindset, open mindedness, understands that their abilities and intelligence can be developed, and they know their effort to build skills that will result in higher achievement. So, this kind of people will learn from their challenges, learn from their mistakes, and seek new knowledge. Just closing up and not being open to the future of work or the trends that are going on in the world of in our world of today will just kick you out of the system entirely. Will kick you out of what is relevant, because you are being closed fisted to what is going to happen in the future. But once your mindset is open and you're actively learning and your mindset is open, then you don't have anything to really worry about. Then there's technology skills. This is actually our world of today. Everything is technology. Your iPhone, your computer, data, and all of that is technology. So if you are still trying to restrict yourself, or you're trying to not be open-minded to what is going on in the world today, then you would have serious issues. Because the truth is that no matter what the level is, no matter how basic it is, employees in most roles will be required to access data and determine how to act on it. This definitely requires some technical skills. And on a more fundamental level, everyone needs to be able to understand the potential impact of new technologies on their job. So you have no choice but to go along, but to flow with the trend. Now, finally, the fifth one is embracing change. Due to the speed of change in our future of work, we need to be agile and embrace and celebrate change. Not only with our brains need to be flexible, but we also need to be adaptable, because we are required to adjust to the shifting workplaces, expectations, and skill sets. Now, in summary, ultimately, although there is certainly a great deal of uncertainty, there is certainly a great deal of uncertainty. I'm confident that the future of work offers plenty reasons to be optimistic. Like I said before, jobs are likely to be lost to machines. It's already happening today. But then again, we should embrace the opportunity to spend more time tuning and developing our skill set and abilities that make us human. What makes us human is actually what is going to give us an edge over the robots. In itself, learning to improve ourselves to the point that we are able to survive and thrive in industries dominated by super smart robots and hyper intelligent machines. So, this is human machine collaboration. They are here to stay. So, what are you and I doing to ensure that we're able to collaborate effectively with these machines and also be able to stay relevant regardless of whatever disruption may come? I urge you and I to spend some time thinking about what skills are needed, from hard tech skills like machine learning engineering to soft skills, and how they're likely to be valuable in the not so distant future. It should become apparent that there's going to be plenty that needs to be done. Definitely, there's more than enough to keep you and I busy and gainfully employed, so we don't need to be afraid. None of us knows what job we'll be doing in 10 years' time, like I mentioned before. I said in the next 10 years, by 2030, which is about 8 years from now, the jobs that are going to be available, 85% of them are not even existing today. So none of us even knows what job you and I will be doing in 10 years' time. But the only difference is that putting in the groundwork now with an eye on the future and the trends that are driving technology and the society, and also not forgetting to think hard about the types of jobs that will be available in the near future will give us the best chance of ensuring that it will be something meaningful and rewarding. So that's about what I have to say about talent, business transformation, and technology as it relates to the future of work. Thank you. Victor, you're muted.
Apologies, sorry, I didn't know I was muted. Yeah, so thank you very much, Ibukulawa. I believe you've addressed like the pertinent component of the team, the future of work as it relates to business transformation, technology, and talent. And I think this is one thing that is very, very crucial and very, very important in a time like this. And technology disruption is on the rise, like is on the rise. They are creating robots. Metaverse is coming in. Web 3.0 is coming up. So moving forward, it will kind of change the way work kind of the way we kind of see work, the way young people kind of embrace work. And thanks so much for highlighting the aspect of regardless of the fact that the future of work technology is on the rise and all, we can still upskill ourselves. And this is one of the thing we are building, and we're very big on at Eco Innovation School. Eco Innovation School is a learning component of Eco Innovation Center. Although very soon will become Eco Institute of Technology, and what that is about is we are looking at developing tech talent. We are focused on tech development and also helping to accelerate tech talent, and that is why this team is very, very important. We've seen the way the future of work will be. We've envisaged the way the future of work will be like, and we know that there is a need for talent development. Very, very important. There's a need for talent development, and not just developing this talent. How are we able to accelerate this talent? Because many businesses will, whether we like it or not, will have to embrace technology. We will have to embrace technology because that's where we're seeing the aspect of business being transforming due to the technology work. So we need to create a pipeline of talent, like create a pipeline of talent, develop them, and also work towards accelerating them. And that is what we are currently working on at Eco Innovation School, or let me put it as Eco Institute of Technology, where we help young people learn tech skill. We equip them, upskill them with relevant tech skill, demanding ones around data analytics, data science, product management, product development. That's the aspect of software engineering, business analytics as well. Currently, we have the data analytics training currently ongoing. If you want to be a part of the training program, you can reach out to me. We have the data analytics program currently ongoing, and we are looking at training these young people, providing them with internship placement, and also accelerating them within 6 months to be employable. So it's a big and altruistic vision that we are looking at achieving, and that is why we look at addressing this pertinent team. And you being an IT business relationship manager, in which your work cut across, talent management, managing customers, and as well the business aspect of 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 things. So currently, I don't know if our other speaker are on the call. I don't know if Arul is on the call. If he can join so that we can, or we can just take questions from here so we don't waste people's time on the call. So if you have questions, I could see people. Okay, thanks so much, Ibukun. People live. Okay, so I think I have questions. I have questions. If people don't have questions to give, so I don't know if you you've talked about machine replacing humans in the future of work. You talk about, regardless of the fact that we say that most of this work will be done by machines, will be done by robots. Do you think? I would like you to give us like description of how artificial intelligence will impact the future of work and life, regardless of the fact that, oh, we're looking at, okay, let's develop this talent, let's accelerate this talent. How will it impact the future of work and life as well? Currently, the way work is being driven, and artificial intelligence has make most of all this work easier, make most of this work that we do, this automated, make it more automated. Let me put it that way. Make most work automated. So, how do you think artificial intelligence will impact the future of work and life? Is it going to be negative? Is it going to be on the positive side? Thank you.
Okay, so Victor, you already answered the question by yourself. So what you have said is what it is. For me, I like to look at it as the positive side, on the positive side, because the truth is AI has evolved over time, and artificial intelligence is something that is available in our day-to-day life. It's something that you and I cannot even live without looking at it, and it has helped improve a lot of businesses when it comes to getting things done. So the good side of it is that yes, it has simplified processes, it has made life easier for you and I. But the truth is that there are some aspects of the job that human beings do that our AI is taking over. Now, like I explained before, work as we know it to be has evolved and is still evolving, right? So, your ability and my ability to upskill, reskill, understand how these things work, because the truth is that it is not every area that the machines or the robots can actually do. There are so many areas that you and I, humans, will have to do. And I had already outlined some of them: creativity, being open minded, emotional intelligence, design thinking, analytical thinking, and all of that. So, our ability to be able to unlearn, learn and relearn, and of course, collaborate with these machines, develop a relationship with them because they have come to stay. We can't chase them anywhere. So you and I having to understand them and be innovative, using them for more than they can do today will make us stay relevant. And we can only stay relevant by training, by understanding how these things work, by keeping up with the trend, by studying, by research, by looking up to those that are already in this field and finding much more innovative ways to come up with better ways of doing things. I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You've given answers to my question. Thank you. I think we have people dropping questions in the chat box. Someone is asking, how can this technology innovation be fully introduced in the public sector? How can this technology innovation be fully introduced in the public sector? If you can help with that.
Okay, to be honest, I don't work in the public sector. I work in a bank. But I believe is by letting them know the advantages of technology, by letting them understand how the infusion of technology in the day-to-day task can help improve the way things are being done. I mean, in processes, in activities, in even in our relationships at work. So our ability to let them see the positive side of it, to see the advantages and what it can achieve. I mean, if you can do something like a statistics or showing them using data to show them the before and after, before technology was introduced and what technology can then do for them, and then the aftermath, the outcome of what it can do. Let's say, for instance, the number of people that come to work in the public sector. Everybody comes to work, right? So if we're able to prove that, okay, the amount, or let's say paper, let's say the use of paper, that's very easy to use. So you carrying paper or file around and actually automating that process into a portal or some sort of robot that can actually get that same task done online without having to use paper. The cost of using paper or the cost of passing paper from one table to the other, if you outline that cost and what the cost will be after it has been automated, you present that to those that can take decision makers of the public sector, and you show them that, okay, this is the percentage I'm able to save by introducing technology to the way we do things or get things done. I believe they would pay attention or listen to what you have to offer. believe I've addressed that question, or do you have,
Okay.
or is it clearer?
So someone also is asking, do you think all our daily activities will be robotics to the extent that we will do away with our traditional businesses? I think you said something around this when you were giving your opinion
Yes,
before. Probably you can still give
yes.
answer to that. Do you think all our daily activities will be robotics to the extent that we will do away with our traditional businesses?
Like I said before, the truth is, routine, mundane tasks, repetitive tasks will be taken over by robots. They're already being taken over by robots anyway, and will still be taken over by robots. But the thing is, in as much as all of these roles or activities are being taken over by robots and automations, it doesn't leave the part of humans. Like, that is the optimistic side of it. The part where you and I will still need to collaborate with machines to get the work done. So, like what I do currently, I'm a business relationship manager. So I'm more like a business analyst. I'm an intermediary between the business and technology. So the way I will present or recommend um, options to the businesses to get their work done faster or to make their work efficient for them is what a human being will be able to do. Tomorrow, I can't tell robots can take over that role, but I will not stay there and wait for the robots to take over my job because I am keeping up with the trend. I'm upskilling myself as well. So even as robots are coming to take over what people are ordinarily doing, I am already a step ahead because I have attained the wisdom or the knowledge for me to be able to stay relevant regardless of whatever distribution may come my way. So for you and I, is not for us to be afraid that robots will take over our job. Is for us to say, okay, these jobs that are not even in existence today, or these jobs that will most likely come up tomorrow, how prepared am I to be relevant when those things happen? That is what should be at the back of our mind and our focus, not to be worried unnecessarily because technology has come anyway and it will take over a lot of the things that we do.
Okay. Someone is asking because we're streaming live. So someone is asking on one of our platform. I'm trying to read that out now. Just a minute, please. I'm trying to read that out. Someone is saying, how can we determine the value of skills that is relevant to the future of work marketplace, and how can we increase the value of human labor in 21st century? How can we determine the value of skills relevant to the future of work? And how can we increase the value of human labor in 21st century?
Okay, like I also explained this before, there are certain skill sets that we need to have for us to remain relevant regardless of whatever disruption may come, regardless of whatever may happen tomorrow, pandemic, or be it technology, robotics, and all of that. I mentioned a few of them. I mentioned creativity, I mentioned emotional intelligence, design thinking, analytical thinking, embracing change. All of these are relevant to keeping us ready for whatever change is going to come. Apart from this, is also us upskilling and reskilling ourselves, learning and unlearning and relearning, because things will definitely change. It's a dynamic world we live in today. Now, talking to people that are forward thinking, talking to being a part of digital communities that are forward thinking, that are keeping up with the trend, asking relevant questions, talking to mentors, people that understand how these things work and how to get better at what we do. Getting advice and guidance from these people would help us to stay relevant and keep up regardless of whatever happens. So this is what you and I need to remain that talent that will be employable and relevant regardless.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ipukun Lawal. It's been a very solid, intriguing one with you. I believe you're an authority in this space, and that was the reason we invited you to speak on this particular topic. Currently, we have the second speaker who will also be speaking on the future of work, talent, technology, and business transformation. He's very big on talent, and that was why we invited Dr. Ayola Aruwulu to be talking on the future of work around talent, technology, and business transformation. Thank you for joining, and I believe the audience are also supercharged to hear and gain from your wealth of insight and knowledge. Thank you. I think you can have the floor now. Thank you. Okay. Dr. Ayola, you're currently muted. I think you will need to unmute. Okay. Okay. Dr. Ayola, you're currently muted. I think you will need to unmute yourself so that we can hear you. And okay, probably you having some technical issues. But before then, someone is asking a question that what advice will you give to youth or higher institution students? Upskilling those skills or learning those skill sets are somehow expensive, and this give me headache that they might not be easily learnable to our young ones. Ibukun, if you are there, you can help while we wait for Dr. Ayola Arolo to sort the technical issue.
Yeah, I'm in now. Thank
Oh,
you.
we'll address that. We'll address that later. Thank you, Dr. Ayola. I think you can go on with your section.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I will share my screen. Not sure if I'm able to put on my video stream. My network is a little bit very shaky, just trying to keep the bandwidth a bit minimal. So I'll share my screen and then just pick up the conversation from there. And listening to Ibukun, she really had made the job much easier for me. I'm going to be repeating quite a number of things that Ibukun has said, maybe in a different way, but she had extensively um, discussed the topic before us today. So I'll share my screen. I'll appreciate if you let me know if you can see my screen. You can do that from the chat box. Just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Oh, great. So, yeah, the future of work, talent, technology, and business transformation. My name is Arolo Ayola, and thank you, Eco Innovation, for having me discuss this topic. First, I'll start with currently, when we talk about talent and how technology is impacting all of this, first we need to realize that the lifespan of skills has really shortened, unlike before. Before now, when you have a skill set, it takes about 26 years, an average of about 26 years, for that skill to go off the value shelf in terms of its market value. But that has shrunk a lot recently to about 5 years. What we're saying is that what you know, the skills you have, in 5 years' time, something is already overtaking that. So there's this shrinking lifespan of skills. And 5 years ago, you were employable, and 5 years later, the market is demanding for something else. And so that's why this conversation is very key to see, to understand how tech is actually shaping shaping the talent market, because organizations are seeking to hire in that kind of sense. Okay. And because of this, a lot of jobs are disappearing because the lifespan for skills shrinking. The same way some jobs are disappearing and new jobs are emerging. And a lot of times, Some of these new jobs that I imagine, our educational system did not fully equip us with the requisite skills. So if you are an early career entry level person, it's something we need to put in mind that our educational system did not fully prepare us for the jobs that I imagine. And so you have earned a very good degree, you've come up top of the class, but then you find out that the requisite skills that the market is looking for in terms of the kind of talent they are looking for, um, um, you are not fully prepared, you have not been fully equipped for it. I have my background as a data analyst and a researcher. Uh, 7 years ago, I think about 7 years now, yeah, an organization reached out for us to help with a study on employment in Nigeria. They wanted us to create a database of the jobs that were available in Nigeria and what kind of skills um, were those jobs requiring. Okay. The project started first with, are there jobs in Nigeria? People keep saying there are no jobs, there are no jobs. But the truth is that there are jobs. And some persons are changing jobs. I mean, changing from one job to the other. The jobs are there. While, of course, when you come to the popular conversation, you hear people say no jobs, no jobs. So this organization has have us to look at where are the jobs in Nigeria, what kind of skills are required for those jobs. And one interesting thing we found out, yeah, there are jobs, but we there is a bit of a disconnection between the preparation process for the job and then the job. So more like you are out of the university and not fully equipped for the kind of jobs that have emerged. And in looking at the component of talents, I'll just be outlining some of the key skills we need to be looking at again. I came in hearing a book on talking about artificial intelligence, how machines are really disrupting and shaping our world. Of course, this influences the kind of skills we should be picking up. One of the things that I think every young person now needs to learn is coding, even if you're not using it. At least have an idea of what goes on behind all of the tools, the tech tools, the games we're interacting with. You know, um, learn how to code even if you're not picking up a career in data science and software development, but basic knowledge of um, how code works, being literate about coding uh, is really helpful. Of course, a whole gamut of career is built upon skills in coding. You know, things like data science, cybersecurity, web development, software development. So many of these new career paths are are hinged on these skills. You know, and for me, I just say to people that even if you're not using it, coding is just something you want to know. Just have a basic understanding of, you know, how does it work. The phone I have, the software that I interact with, the games that I interact with, how does it work? You know, those kind of basic knowledge will be helpful. Of course, cloud computing, it's important to begin to see that the world is transitioning from physical storage to a cloud-based storage. Years ago, you'll be describing a powerful computer as one with a very large storage. But gradually, um, the world is moving away from that kind of physical storage on your machines, and we're looking at the cloud, where everything is done On the cloud computing, the bank's database is not hosted just on a local machine, is hosted somewhere in the cloud. You know, all of the data analytic tools we interact with now are already looking at the cloud component of what they do. Years ago, you used Microsoft Excel just on your local machine, and then if you want to share what you have, you will need to you will need to probably copy that into a flash. But all that has changed. Now, Excel interacts uh, on the cloud. You now have things like Google Sheet, you have the Microsoft Excel online. So there's so much transition from physical machines to cloud. Okay. And these are skills that we need to begin to pick up. You know, if you're in data analytics, tools like Power BI now gives you a lot of cloud collaboration, you know. So these are skills that we need to be looking at if we want to stay relevant in this age. Of course, data analytics. Um, Data analytics has to do. I heard the um, the coordinator talking about eco innovation having data analytics courses. Of course, it's a kind of course you want to take. Um, so much data here and there now that organizations are looking for who can help them make meaning of it. So many of our traditional roles are now having data analytics component embedded in them. Before now, you just want to employ a traditional admin officer, a traditional front desk officer. But now the role of a front desk, the role of an admin officer is so much data analytics is already embedded into it. Ability to collect data, manage data, and help organization take decisions with that. So data analytics is a skill you want to pick, even if you're not working as a career data analyst. A lot of other job roles you want to pick has something subtle in terms of managing data embedded in those job roles. Like I've mentioned, uh, a front desk officer, for instance, you need to be able to collect data. Okay, what kind of guests have we been entertaining? Have been visiting us in this organization? What have they been requesting for? In that kind of and helping organization to be able to make meaning of it. So it's a skill to pick, and quite a number of tools are there to simplify the analytic processes. And you're learning Microsoft Excel, you're learning Power BI, you're learning Tableau, Stata, SAS, and so many other advanced tools that you could pick up in analytics. When it comes to talents being relevant in this age, one skill that we must also pick up is consider is learning a new language. The world is becoming very global. Tech is not the only thing that is shaping the world, but tech is a major driver. But the boundaries of nations are gradually collapsing. For instance, the African Free Trade Arrangement agreement that was signed gives allows some form of labor movement. Okay, so I am able to move from Nigeria to other West African countries to do business. Learning a new language, learning French, learning Arabic, kind of positions you for global relevance in terms of also jobs. And I also will, aside from the regular languages we know, French, Arabic, that sign language is one key language now that um, um, allows you to break into a whole community that a lot of times we don't pay attention that something is happening there. The deaf communities, who is going to be able to sell, to market, to train, and all of that to to that community. So learning sign language, makes you really valuable in this age. So you learn French, you learn Arabic. These are skills that we must be considering picking up. Of course, learning how to better use your smartphones for content creation. These are skills that we need to consider. Farming, agriculture, it won't go away. In fact, it will continue to be a top cadre career path. And understanding sustainable farming and the techniques, the skills required in that particular value chain is also something that will be helpful. Let me know if you can still hear me, and um, that we're following. I
Yes,
just tried
I
to. Okay, great. Thank you for that feedback. So I also tried to just itemize some top 10 skills, that soft skills that you need to learn. Aside from the fact that tech is going to is shaping the world and is disrupting so many things, there is more. It's not enough to just learn the tech skills, the learn to code. There are quite a number of soft skills that we need to begin to embrace, and one of chief of it is problem solving, ability to um, look at an issue end to end, and think out solution, not just talk about the problem, but being able to design solutions for problems. In our context here, we kind of are very skilled with identifying the problem, talking about the problem, but what we don't get is being able to solve the problem. And that skill is going extinct, and is something that um, employers are looking for people who have this ability, who can look at an issue in an organization and provide solution. Critical thinking, creativity, some of this Ibukun had already talked about them. People management, ability to relate with people. One of the things that tech is doing is disrupting how we relate, how we, people, interpersonal relationship is gradually reducing as people take more time on their devices. So you go for a date, people spend more time pressing their phone than even talking. So how to manage people, how to interact with people, how to work in a team, these are skills that we need to begin to embrace. Of course, emotional intelligence, decision making, how to serve, how to render service, not just being served. These are skills that will improve your employability, and also if you're already on a job, it keeps you on the job and help you grow faster. Negotiation skills, these are skills we need to be looking at if we want to be valuable talent um, in this age. um, I don't know if this is visible, but I just try to put up emerging jobs and jobs that are declining, that are fast disappearing. And if you see top of it, you will see machine learning, data analysis, software development, content creation. These are the emerging jobs, But if you see what the university trained us for, some of those jobs are fast disappearing. Accounting, bookkeeping, you now have software that does better bookkeeping and better accounting than humans. Okay. Basic administrative and roles, routine roles, factory work, where machines are now much more efficient and much more effective in delivering those. These jobs are gradually disappearing, and we must put our attention on the jobs that are emerging. These are some of the sectors that are thriving. So as a talent, you should put your eyes in these areas. Fintech, okay, fintech, agribusiness, supply chain, tourism and hospitality, Education and learning. Now with your smartphone, you can be your own school. You don't need to have a physical facility anywhere. Your YouTube channel already provides you with a platform to begin to educate, to begin to make money by impacting knowledge. Um, Media and entertainment, fashion, e-commerce, digital marketing, gaming, and data science. These are sectors that are thriving, that if you want to be a valuable talent, you need to be putting your eyes in one of these sectors and building skills relevant to them. I also need to mention the humanitarian and development space, fast growing because of the nature of crisis we are having in our area here. So a lot of humanitarian activities are happening. If you check on your job boards now, you see that you have a lot of jobs in northeast Nigeria because of the insurgency that required humanitarian support, humanitarian aid. So there are a lot of jobs within the humanitarian and development sector that is open, not just in Nigeria. I just gave an example of in Nigeria. If you just lift up your eyes and look at the job boards, you will see Ukraine, that a lot of jobs are open in Ukraine because of the crisis in that area, humanitarian and development work. How to skill up, and I will just end that there. What do you need to do? How do you skill up? This was me in 2006. I was a roadside mechanic in Kaduna. What I'm sharing has also been my journey transitioning and seeing how tech affects my industry. I read mechanical engineering, read specialized in automobile. And in 2006, I was a roadside mechanic. In 2011, I discovered how technology is shaping even the automobile space. The kind of vehicles I was trained in the university um, to manage, they are fast becoming obsolete. New kind of vehicles are popping up that requires not just the way we diagnose cars by listening. We now use computers to diagnose cars. This was me learning how to. This was me learning how to diagnose in 2011, and in this is me in 2022. Um, Transitioning from not just being a mechanic now to fully into data science. And this was me speaking at a data science bootcamp. Now, what do you need to do? So, wherever your journey is now, you can begin. You look at the sector that you want to go into, you look at the skills required, and then you start your journey. Usually, our journey begins from the stage of incompetence to where we now become competent, and then but we start from what we call unconscious incompetence. What do I mean by this unconscious incompetence? You don't know, but you have not realized that you don't know. Okay. um so for instance, you are interested in data science. uh, uh, you start from that stage where you don't even know what you don't know, because you're not aware. And how do you break up from that phase? Because some persons are still here, they are incompetent, but they are unconscious, they are not aware of their incompetence. It's to begin to join with communities of people, the community of the sector you are eyeing that you want to go into. For instance, you're interested in data science, start searching for people who are in data science on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and trying to see what kind of skills do they have, what qualified them for that role. Now, at this point, what you're doing is more like you are trying to audit what you need to learn. Okay, you're trying to audit what you need to learn, and then you now start up your journey of learning. Okay, now you know what you need to learn. You are now conscious of what you need to learn. You are conscious of the resources you need to learn. And now you are now
Okay, I think he has network issues or technical issue, and he's unable to finish up. Hopefully, he's able to join as we continue the program. It's really been an exciting one. Dr. Arulu, I don't know if you can hear me or if you're still on the call, um, so the audience can actually follow from there. All right, so yeah, so Dr. Arulu has really talked about the aspect of the future of work, and he has gone deeper into the Okay, just let me know if you can hear me, please. Okay, okay. So as I was okay, thank you. Good. So as I was saying, Dr. Arulu has really dived deeper into the aspects of talent and technology, and it's very interesting how he has been able to show us the trends, the fundamentals, and the components of the future of work. I could see a lot of perspective of how he transitioned from being he's an automobile engineer and now he's a data scientist and able to innovate and also train people to acquire data science as a skill. So we could see how he was able to tell us about the trends, some of the jobs or the works that are diminishing, and some of the jobs that are currently getting more prospects. And this is basically what the future of works is driving at. So hopefully he's able to join the call to take questions from participants. You can um, drop your questions in the chat box while we wait for Dr. Aworo to join and give answers. But before then, I guess there was a question before Dr. Arulo commenced this section. And I think that from a minute, please. Someone was asking as regards. Okay, someone was. I think this question was directed to Ibukun Lawa, saying, "What advice will you give to youth or higher institution students? Upskilling those skills or learning those skill sets are somehow expensive, and this give me headache that they might not be easily available to our young ones." I don't know if Ibukun Lawa you can help address that. Thank you.
Okay, so
So,
the way learning has evolved is that it's readily available. There are a lot of free learning platforms that one can leverage on. I know that there are some that are actually not free, they're expensive, but we could even start with the ones that are readily available. If you go on LinkedIn, for instance, there are free training programs on LinkedIn where one can acquire skill set and knowledge. There's Google. There is the likes of Udemy and Coursera, like I mentioned earlier. Although, yeah, there's still some programs that you still need to pay. There was even one that I joined into sometime during COVID. That was in 2020. It was by Harvard, and it was free, and it was from Harvard. So it's just for us to seek out some of these training programs that are readily available to us, that are free. And as we proceed in our lives, we can be able to say, okay, gain the necessary knowledge and skills, and then from there you could transit into um, the one that you can actually pay for.
All right. To also contribute to that, at Eco Innovation School, we are making, we're trying to make learning more less expensive for young people. We're trying to design and build models around making sure people have access to tech learning. And we have partners that we're currently working with. If you want to learn data analytics skill, for instance, we're currently building partnership with LSCTF and an organization, I guess, whereby you can learn and you be given a loan to learn. While we give you internship, during the course of the internship, you are able to pay back some of the loans you used to learn, and there you've gotten the skill and you've been able to build yourself to be, employable, and this skill is going to be with you forever. So we know that one of the major challenge to young people acquiring tech skill is affordability of, you know, getting this tech skill or accessing this tech skill, and we're trying to bridge that gap, making it easier for young people. So you can always reach out to me as well if you're interested in, being a part of any of our learning programs. We have models, flexible one for young people to acquire tech skill. So thank you. Someone was asking, you mentioned critical thinking as a skill needed. So how can one build this critical thinking skill? Um, okay. Okay, I think time is past spent already. We've spent, okay. I don't even want to give answer to that. Building critical thinking skill, building critical thinking capacity. If you want to give clarity to that, thank you.
Okay, so for critical thinking is more or less like analytical, is one's ability to be able to segregate between emotions, sentiments, and logic. So your reasoning is actually logical. So your whatever decision you're taking, whatever thing you're bringing to the table is based on facts and logic, not on emotions or sentiments. And apart from that, there's also the area of training programs that can actually help you in critical thinking. There are training programs like design thinking, which will help you to be able to decipher knowledge and be able to make that distinction between the two. As humans, it's very easy for you to be emotional or sentimental when taking decisions or when suggesting something that can help. But by the time you apply analytical skills to it, it becomes a case of you using facts, sense of judgment to be able to take a decision.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Ibukunla. Wow. This section, I believe you are really prepared for our audience, and they've gained a lot of value. So, someone asking how you can reach out to me, I've dropped it in the contact, the chat box. You can reach out to me via daniels@ecoinnovationhub.com. You can share an email. And thank you, Ibukunla, wow, for honoring your invitation and also helping us to share value as it relates to the future of work, talent, technology, and business transformation. Dr. Arulolo currently is having network issue, and really appreciate him as well for the loads of value he has been able to share with us all. I believe he has given us clarity as to how talent and technology is, kind of shaping the future of work, and why we need to keep upskilling. Upskilling is very, very important. Upskilling is very, very, very important for us to be able to, face some of these transformations that comes with the future of work. So we'll be calling it a day, but before then, Eco Innovation School we are looking at rebranding it to becoming Eco Institute of Technology, and we have loads of programs for young people that are looking at transitioning into tech. That you're looking at getting into tech, you're looking at getting a tech job within the next 6 to 12 months. We can help develop you and also accelerate you to achieving that. And in a couple of days now, it's gonna be all over our social media, Eco Institute of Technology. We have a big goal to help developing and accelerating talent in Nigeria and even across sub-Saharan Africa. And we are very, very committed to this altruistic goal and vision of ours at Eco Innovation Center and Eco Institute of Technology as well. So next in a couple of months, the product faculty programs will be coming up. Product design, product management. You can reach out to me if you want to be a part of that program. And if you also want to be a part of our ongoing data analytics program, you can also reach out to Daniels at ecoinnovationhub.com. You can share an email and we'll be glad to want to hear from you and also want to help you, develop that tech skill and also accelerate you as well. Thank you everyone for being on this call. It's a pleasure to have you all on board. So we call it a day and have a great evening and a great weekend. Bye.